All right, we have a channel first today. I'm going to be reading some interesting comments that I've gotten this year, just this year. All right, so let's get it cracking. Triple heat. You are a master water fasting expert. You need to write a book about your journey. Book coming soon, man. I've been writing things, so much documentation. One day I'm gonna put it all together, 100-page book. I don't ever want to go over 100 pages in a book. I like to keep it short and sweet. Size things down, get to the gist of things. One of my favorite books is called The Richest Man in Babylon. That book is I want to say it's under 110 pages. I love that book. Straight to the point, good stories, interesting concepts. Thanks, Triple the Heat, for that comment, man. All right. I had the same problem when I decided to fast. The last meal over and over. I just need to do one very long fast. Starting again in a couple days. I'm right there with you on this. Take care. Yeah. When I'm fasting, last meal. This is going to be the last meal. This is going to be the last meal. All right. This one right here, this is going to be the last meal. It never quite pans that way. But you keep pushing. All you can do is keep pushing. Not sure if I asked you, but do you know what your maintenance calories are? Last year my maintenance calories fluctuated between 1,800 to 2,300. But when I was in that sweet spot, it was probably like, when I think about it now, because see, I used to do so much exercise. So maintenance, no exercise, it had to be like 1,800, right? But when I'm doing exercise, it's probably like see the amount of exercise I was doing last year was so much, so my maintenance was probably like 3,000. But let's say I'm just doing moderate exercise every day. Nothing too much. Let's say 30 minutes. It's like 2,300. Yeah. Shout out to Mo. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just would call you Mo. Shout out. All right. Congrats on fasting so long. Makes sense to listen to your body. Always listen to your body. Sleep deprived and bored. It's a hard combo. You pretty eclectic though. I'm sure you will fill the void. Probably reschedule a doctor appointment. Preemptively bring up the weight gain. Yeah. Look forward to the discovery and the way of eating that works for you. The guns are coming back. Sun's out, guns out. It's coming soon. But yeah, I mean, listen to the body. Listen to the body. When water fasting is tough because sometimes you get bored, sometimes you have sleep deprivation, sometimes you have hypotension, all sorts of things. So we just keep pushing. I don't think you need to change eating, like eating dead foods. What would be good is adopting other nations' foods. For example, taking the approach of only eating Indian food. You need to cook it all the time. Barely any Indian junk food. Try it maybe. I like this comment because it's a good way to think. One of the most successful diets of our time, right? This generation is the Mediterranean diet. Um, they say it works. They say it's this. They say it's that. Indian food. I thought about it before because let's say I want to go vegan. Indian food. There's like a part of India. It's either north or south. I don't remember where. They're like heavy vegetarian based, for example, right? And I mean, just all sorts of concepts that you can think about when you just focus on one nation's food. So I think it's a good idea. Will I try it? I'm one of those people that within this journey, I've tried a lot of things, so I'm not going to rule it out. And being that I've already tried, I've already thought about this Indian food. If I ever want to go vegan or vegetarian or whatever, I can just adopt the Indian food diet pretty easily, especially because I love Indian food. Good comment. Thanks. Maybe try Netflix or something, watching a good series where food is involved, or try creating a new YouTube account so the algorithm will be fresh and you won't get food recommendations. Yes. I actually did this. I had to go through my YouTube account and what did I have to do? I had to unsubscribe, of course, to many things. And then that YouTube front page, if you right click on videos, you can choose to don't recommend video, not interested. You can do those two things. And slowly but surely they'll get out of your feed. So I don't have any food videos. The only food videos that show up in my feed or are the muscle and strength for the bodybuilders, you know, and they all pretty much eat rice and chicken and take pills. So it's kind of funny. I don't really watch them that often. So it actually helps, but at the same time, I don't really know if it worked. It'll be a long-term thing to evaluate, you know. All right, programming is definitely a thing. When I load myself up with water fasting and weight loss content, it influences me and helps me stay on track. I know for me personally, making decisions on the fly creates outcomes based on the habits mostly deeply rooted in me. But when I plan ahead, I can make choices based on new, better habits. I wonder if you might like to do weekly meal planning after you fast, where you stick to the plan, having adjustments to the following week's meal plan. Yeah, when I water fast, it's usually before I water fast. Especially in the earlier years, I would watch weight loss specific things on how to water fast and stuff like that. But now, when I water fast, it's all mental, you know? It's just all mental. But I will say this. Let's say I want to run. Or I'm thinking that, you know, I might be running soon. Or maybe I got lazy and I don't want to run anymore. If I start watching running content, at some point, it's going to spark in me. As far as meal planning goes, I've done meal planning before on this journey. I'm not against meal planning. I don't know if it's that I'm lazy, but something about cooking meals and putting in the microwave is just not my thing. I know there's meals you can eat without having to warm them up too, so it's no excuses. But meal planning, I don't know. I just like freshly cooked food. It's just something about food that's smoking and it just came fresh off the stove or oven. I don't know, but I'm definitely not against meal prep, especially if you're working and all that sort of stuff. You know, if you want to stay within your macros, your calories, you know, you can use a food scale, meal plan, meal prep everything up, take it to work. It's beautiful. I might actually do that when I start going back to the office one day. Yo, you making it seem like Nigeria is a war zone. I'm sure you'll be okay as long as you're not flashing too much. Whew. This one hit different, man. Yo, Nigeria is definitely not a war zone. I'm not going to say that. But Nigeria can be rough, you know. I think that it wasn't a mistake because I knew how it was going to be. But it's better to move with people that know wherever you are, street smart, and all that sort of stuff, you know. I got out situations I was in because I was street smart, but at the same time, I wasn't street smart as far as Nigeria goes. So I just, you know, it's grace of God that I made it out of there without losing anything. Nothing was stolen from me, you know. Anything that was taken, I dashed it, you know, by choice. Maltodextrin is dangerous to your health. I just buy individual spices. I also purchase a soda stream machine, stock on my freezer with meat and vegetable. Fasting is a good way to save money on food. Yeah, maltodextrin is dangerous for your health. And that's one of the reasons I decided that I would actually start buying individual spices versus using this spice mix, man. I had this spice mix I was using last year. I never got tired of it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it, but it's in my old videos. All right. Skincare routine. Am I really shining like that? Am I really shining like that? My skincare routine is that I'm African, I swear. Like, I use lotion and soap just like anyone else. It's just in my genes, you know. My mom, my dad, they got good skin. So, what I actually do, I shower. I use Jergens body wash, okay? The one that's oil infused. Dry myself off. I use Jergens lotion. I don't know, something about Jergens just works with my skin. But I have always wanted to look into, I don't know what it's called. Is it called organic? Is it called fair trade? Like lotion and you know, everything for the beard, for the hair, for the skin, the soaps, everything. I've thought about it. I just haven't put in the work on it. But for now, it's really just Jergens, and it works. And before Jergens, I want to say it was I hate Dove now, but I think it was Dove everything. How can I get direct message with you, get in contact with me? Instagram, yo. On Instagram, my name is The American African. So if you hit me up on Instagram, The American African, you'll catch me there. I do go offline from time to time because mental health is everything. Health is wealth. Being obese or losing weight, I feel you. You gotta do it your way. Shit, it's the only way I know to get the job done for sure. Tasha the coldest. Yeah, like you got to do it your own way because at the end of the day, you got to keep it going. You got to keep it going. So if you do it your way, you're more likely to keep it going. At the end of the day, we got to sustain the weight loss, right? Sustaining the weight loss doesn't start, it starts on day one, but it might not happen on day one, It might be going through some failures a few times before you finally get in motion. Came back to check on you. Sorry you're going through this roller coaster. For me, I avoid hyper-palatable foods and eat real, unprocessed, uncurled food, primarily the flesh and fat of grass-fed ruminants. But you know that if you're an addict, you've got to abstain. It's difficult because you can't avoid food. You can do this. Also, looking back at your old videos when you had success, there are lessons to be relearned. God bless, brother. Much love from London. Much love. Yeah, you hit on everything. You know what you're talking about. So I don't even argue with you anymore. You got it. You win. Round as a pound. That's the homie. She's been there. She's been rocking with me since the beginning. Mo, this video was deep. What I noticed most people have problems with food and weight gain. The difference is some people catch it when they gain 5 pounds. Some catch it at 50 pounds and so on and so on. Yeah. If you gain weight and you can notice 5 pounds, 10 pounds before it gets out of hand, and you have that knack in you that says, I don't like the way this 5 pound gain looks on me, I want to do something about it right now, and you start to do it, you're winning the battle. You're starting to win the battle. Me, my biggest issue is that I can gain 20 pounds. I won't like it, but and in my head, I'm building up like, okay, I need to do something about it, but I don't actually do something about it. It takes me gaining 50 pounds before I say, okay, that's enough. That's obesity in a nutshell, ain't it? I just tell myself I want to comfortably fit in 32-inch pants. That's all. Don't care what weight I'm going to be. That's how I feel now, I think at my lowest weight, I was like 32, 34. I think 32, 34, it's okay. I'm okay with that waist. I go into any store, I find pants 34, 32. It works, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel now, I'm not going to say totally forget the numbers on the scale, but my clothes. I like 32, 34-inch waist. I like large shirts. If I got to do extra large, it's not bad because baggy's coming back in style. All right. I'm still doing Sicko. Hoping to see 220 tomorrow morning. If I don't see it tomorrow, I'll see it next Tuesday. You're doing good, man. 220 what? How'd you get there? Now he's talking about how he did it. This is success in a nutshell. Sicko. All right, let's read this. I eat around 2,200 calories a day, 175 grams of protein. The rest of my calories, I eat whatever I like. I don't have any certain times to eat, but I notice I finish most of my calories at 4 p.m. You see, he's reached a stage where he's doing pure maintenance, true maintenance, no fasting. Maybe sometimes he has to do it, but for the most part, just eating right on a weekly basis. All right. I don't have any certain types to eat, but I notice I finish most of my calories by 4 p.m. Once you finish your calories, you're done eating. That's Sicko. I go to the gym 3 days a week for weights and 4 days a week for cardio. That's dope. Being active, staying active, and liking the activity you're doing is dope. You got to do it. I track my calories with a food scale to make sure I'm not overeating. Very important. I used to do that way back. Every time I pull out the scale now, I just be like, I kind of know what everything is, though. But that's the right way to do it. I still don't feel like I started a diet. That's very important, man. It's a lifestyle for you. I'm getting my results and keeping my mind right. I'm on a week 30. Want ice cream? Is it worth the calories? Maybe it's worth calories. Maybe it's not. You can eat it, figure it out. That's true. You can still eat ice cream on this sort of diet. You just got to go based on the calories. I'm eating at least 400 calories a day of junk food. If I feel like eating more, then I can eat up to maintenance. If I lose a day, I will make sure I win the week. Sicko is king. For me, I lose 1 pound of fat in a week, and I need to be at 17K. It's a numbers game. You got it. You got it. I mean, you hit everything. This is what I've been talking about. Now, when will I put it into practice? I think I'll actually put this sort of thing into practice when I finally start. When I reach like an exercise routine regimen that I stick with consistently. Because right now it's like I can work out 3 times in a day, and that's not something I'm going to sustain long term. But it's fun right now, so I'm rolling with it. What do you think of Tajin as an appetite suppressor and a sodium alternative? It's 0 calories and a mix of pepper flakes, sea salt, lime. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking of using it. So the thing is, I like the idea of it, but I think that this is more so like, where are you with weight loss? Where are you with health? Because depending on where you are depends on if you want to dabble in this. Where I'm at is I don't want to use any mixes, you know? I don't want to use anything that has mixes because I find that usually they put something in there, whether it's a caking agent or whatever, to make this stuff last or to make these stuff combine or whatever they do. Now, if you look at the ingredient label and you just see pepper, sea salt, lime, go for it, you know? But how do you get lime to stand the age of time? Like, what do they do to that lime? You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff I be thinking about. Like, what sort of chemicals did they use? So for me, I'd rather just take a lime. I forgot, use the grater. You know, sea salt. Buy sea salt, pepper flakes. I just buy pepper, I crack it. But that's just me personally. I'm not against this if this is what can work for you, especially if you have high blood pressure, you're trying to reduce your sodium intake. Hey man, you should start a Discord or something. So as far as Discord groups go, you know, I notice a lot of content creators, they start these things and then they disappear because when they regain weight, I think they get embarrassed, they get scared, whatever, you know. So another issue I have personally is sometimes I like to unplug, right? So when you create something like this, everyone expects you to be there every day, you know? And then if you're not going to be there, they still expect you to say, hey, I'm going on vacation. We'll be back in 2 weeks. But the truth is, we have these cell phones nowadays, smartphones. We're always connected. So Discord is on the phone. It's on the computers. It's everywhere. It's like you never really unplug. And me, I like to unplug from the matrix, you know? You notice that I deactivate my Instagram from time to time and things like that. To me, it's good for mental health. So I love to do it. I don't like to be attached to anything. Yeah. On your fast, how much water do you drink in a day? Do you have a water schedule? So on my fast, I drink water. Now I'm at a point where I go based on my tongue. My tongue actually tells me if I'm dehydrated. It tells me if I'm just slightly thirsty. It tells me if I'm good. It tells me if I need. So right now I have water. Watch this. That's all it wants. So on this water fast, you know, I'm on day what? 5, almost day 6, starting an hour. That's how I've been drinking water. I don't even think about it. When I want it, I just drink it. So I drink it all throughout the day. But once it hits a certain time, let's say like 9, 10 p.m., I don't drink any more water until I wake up. I start off my day, apple cider vinegar with water. And that's pretty much how I'll be rocking. But when I first started water fasting, I would actually calculate my water based on my weight. So let's say I weigh 300 pounds. I try and drink 120 ounces, 100 ounces, you know? So it's like per third of my body weight. It worked for me. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but it worked for me. In addition, I was also drinking like 32 ounces of snake juice. So technically, I guess I was drinking like 150 per 300 pounds. So maybe it was like half of my body weight in water. So I would say, if I was to give a recommendation, go for half your body weight in water, see how you feel. Understand that if you're drinking a lot of water, you're going to be losing a lot of electrolytes if you're peeing a lot. So you have to think about snake juice. If it's a long-term fast, past 3 days. Hi, congrats. You have come a long way on your journey. And I was just wondering, what water do you drink? Do you buy water at the store? Do you drink water from the faucet? All this sort of stuff. So I buy this big Brita water tank with the filters that you change out, okay? These filters are trash though, okay? I always have issues with them. They're very expensive, but whatever, you know? I used to like bottled water, but I learned that bottled water, if it's put out in the sun, it can be contaminated by the content of that plastic, right? So I try and buy glass water and I keep it in my car. So if I'm on a long drive or driving and I want water, I always have water in my car when I'm water fasting. But when I'm in the house, I use my Brita filter, and I've been sticking with that for the past 2 years. So that's what I personally recommend. It's just faucet water that goes through a Brita filter. But if you like to use bottled water, I'm not against it. It's whatever works for you. That's just what works for me. I'm not against bottled water. I also have bottled water in my car. I usually buy alkaline water, sometimes Life water, big bottles. Keep it in the trunk. Yo, what hair products do you use? I'm trying to get better grooming and take care of my health and looks. This video gonna be long. I use so many hair products because they all work, because I understand the general concept of laying down the waves. I don't know if this question is directly about waves, but I'm gonna just talk about waves. This is wave talk. I'm supposed to do a video on this. I just haven't got the energy for it yet. So basically, what I learned is that for waves, it's all about laying down the hair. For me, as a black man, to me, it's all about laying down the hair. If my hair is short, I want it to lay down nice. Okay. Whatever you want to use to lay down hair is fine, but I generally like to use do-rags, and I have different do-rags, but I went on Amazon one time. I found a do-rag that works for me. I use these do-rags. Of course, silk, something very smooth. I like big do-rags, and yeah, I tie it up. My hair is always tied up for the most part. And once I learned the general concept, it took me 12 years, by the way. Is it 12? No, when I was 12, that's when I first got into the hair. Like, oh, waves, how do you do that? It took me until I was around like 25, 26, 27 before I finally started to understand, oh, the reason I haven't been getting waves, no matter how much products I try and everything, was because hair brushes I was using, hair pomade I was using, shampoo and conditioner that I'm using, they all matter, depending on your hair type. So first you have to learn what type of hair type you have, and then you kind of want to get into, okay, am I black, am I white, whatever, what type of products are good for me. But one day I'll do a video and I'm going to cover what I use. I'm excited for you to start watching Calories In. It'll be cool to see you keeping the food log and macro log. I've talked about this before. See how different macro counts work for you and your hormones. My sweet spot is 2,100 calories a day, 175. Some say carbs are like a transportation for protein to get to the muscle. That's exactly what carbs are. Logging all my macros, calories, and exercises made my body super predictable. For example, I'm doing heavy back workout. I will retain the next 2 days of 3 extra pounds of water weight. I'm down to 223. As I said to you, Mo, you already got it figured out. Like, excellent. You got it. This is what I learned last year when I read Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. I love these videos where you're just thinking out loud. I found your channel when I restarted my fasting journey a week ago. I went back to your first video and binged so many. We have similar struggles. I'm rooting for us to get better. I'm on day 5. Yeah, I like to just talk. I like to just get in front of the camera and talk. The funniest thing about me is I'm not a social person. But through years, through working, customer service, and all that sort of stuff, I learned to talk. I learned to just open up, be free. We're all humans. I always say funny shit. Let me be real with y'all. We're all pieces of shit, okay? We're all gonna die one day, From dust we will create to dust we will return. So why not just be yourself and just talk? If people like you, they like you. If they don't, hey, it's cool. There's other people. There's billions of us, So yeah, I always just think out loud, talk my shit, and just keep it moving. You got it though. Keep pushing. Mo, if not, I lose weight. It's not if I lose weight, it's when I lose weight. Thanks for keeping me in the right mindset and grinding with us. That's it. It's not if, it's when. The mentality. Keep it thick. I'm gonna do it. It's just a matter of when. And when I say when, I mean soon, like days, weeks, Lord forbid, months, but yeah. I use anything to fuel my fire, LOL. Like MJ in The Last Dance, LOL, highly competitive. It works for me. In the beginning of my journey, Kobe Bryant was my inspiration, because I just see the way he battled through all the adversity in his life, and he just pushed through to the point where you wouldn't even know he went through shit. Only way you know is if you look it up. You know, things with his family, things with the rape case, all that sort of stuff, man. So I always it's usually sports figures as like inspiration for me, you know, in my weight loss journey. Because I always say to myself, if they can battle through all of this and they're doing that, I can do this. This ain't even that. Not to minimize what I'm doing, but I'm just saying, you know. So find something to motivate you. Find something to fuel your fire, you know. Like MJ in The Last Dance. I still haven't watched that, by the way. I won't say I'm an MJ hater because I used to buy his stuff, but I would say MJ used to beat my teams, you know. Back in the day, I used to like Karl Malone, so I support the Jazz. I used to like Reggie Miller, so I support the Pacers, and you see what he did to them. So my man said, I woke up and I felt like carnivore, so I did it. That's the truth, though. And that's how I be moving. And that's just me. And me, I accept me. Hopefully y'all do too. That's how I move. I go with the flow. That killer instinct is the grace of Jesus. If you know, you know. I ain't gonna preach on here. If you know, you know. You are the master water fasting expert. You need to write a book. Okay, we're back at the beginning. Good. All done. Thanks for rocking with me. Leave a comment. It might be on the next reading comments video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.